Founded along a wagon trail over 160 years ago, the small town of Susanville, California is seemingly home to countless spirits, from haunted homes and cemeteries to mysterious tunnels and an abandoned hospital. I'm Kenny, your captain, and welcome to Spooky Legends of Susanville. So I've been documenting Susanville's urban legends and ghost stories for about 8 years now. One of the first places I investigated was the old Lassen Community Hospital on Hospital Lane. Well, mostly abandoned now for some 18 years, the old hospital has become a haven for vagrants and vandals. It is also believed by many to be one of the most haunted places in Lassen County. So the first hospital that was built here was first constructed in 1883. That building was later replaced by a two-story building. That was built in 1915. And this old photo, you can see it being constructed. I really like this picture. You can see just this open field and there's just nothing around. Now there's buildings and a school, houses. Over the years, more buildings were added to the complex. Most notably was the larger building. This newer building to the south was originally called the Hospital Annex, but over time, I don't know when, at some point, the two buildings, the north and south building, kind of switched names. So the north two-story building, that became the Annex, and the single-story building, that became the hospital. So one of the earliest stories I found about this place goes back to when it was still open and operational. New mothers that had experienced a difficult birth would describe waking up at night being checked on by an elderly nurse with what they described as a horrible body odor. The next morning they'd ask staff about the nurse, and they were always told that no such person worked there at the hospital. Staff members would frequently hear the sound of a little girl laughing. This spirit has become known as Ellie. It's quite common. I myself, a few years back, recorded what I believe to be her laughing. I was near the nurse's station. I was all alone in the building. There was no one else there, and I could very clearly hear a laugh. And it barely showed up on the audio. In editing, I had to really just crank up the volume, and that's why there's so much static in the background. But it's there. On a later visit to this room, I captured this image. In it, we can see this cloudy orb-like object. Well, eventually I was able to acquire some actual ghost hunting equipment. One of the tools that I now use is an EMF reader. Basically what this does is it detects electricity in the air. Well, this reader did detect electricity near the nurse's station. There's no power hooked up to the old hospital. In fact, most of the wiring has been torn out by salvagers. So this hallway goes straight to the main entrance. Let's look down here real quick. Oh! Do that again! It just went off and got a 1. That was pretty cool. Do it again. Well, the other piece of equipment I use quite a bit is the S-Box Ghost Scanner, or also known as a spirit box. It's basically a radio scanner. It scans through radio stations. The idea being that spirits can use the unused frequencies to communicate. So the first time I used this new piece of equipment was at the nurse's station.
This is where I recorded you laughing last time, Ellie. Give this little gadget a try.
S-box. Scanning. FM.
Okay.
Foundation.
Can you hear me? You can't use this to say something. We're getting a lot of radio station interference. I think we're going to switch to a different bandwidth here.
Scanning. AM.
So AM station. Does anybody want to talk? Say something? What was that? What is that? Anything at all? I couldn't quite get that. Can you tell me a name? Are you the voice I heard laughing that one time? You say that's you? That was a man's voice I just heard.
Well, back over in the north building, there's a much darker entity. In an upstairs administration office, visitors have reportedly been choked by an unseen force. And downstairs in the main hallway that runs the length of the building, people have been chased out by a dark figure known as Shadow Man. By far, the creepiest place in the north building is definitely the basement.
Whoa. Are you down here? Is that a yes? Did you work here? Are you a janitor or a groundskeeper? Maintenance? Did something happen to you down here? Oh, someone tore down the TV. Looks like someone lit a fire too. Can you say anything to me? Use this little device here. Talk to me. Ooh, I just felt the hair go up on my arms. Look at that. That was weird. I don't know where that chill came from. Ooh. Is that you? Think you got my attention. Keep going. Are you happy, sad? Do you feel anything? Any emotion? Anything physical?
So people often ask me, what am I most afraid of finding when I go out on one of these ghost hunts? Quite honestly, I'm afraid I'm going to find a dead body one of these times.
Oh shit, there's a dead dog in there. That's nice.
Well, I did find something actually really pleasant in the south building on one of my last visits. Tucked away in this little, like, I don't know, it's kind of like a furnace room. It's a little space. It's barely a foot and a half wide, maybe two. There's this space on the wall where you can see people have left hand tracings. The majority of these appear to be from nurses and staff that worked at the hospital. And this was their last goodbye to the facility right before it closed. In the early morning of December 13th, 2020, the North Building burned. I saw the pictures on Facebook when I woke up that morning, and yeah, I was sad, but at the same time, really, this was just inevitable. Uh, every time I've visited the old hospital, I found a new old campfire inside one of the buildings. In fact, one of the other outbuildings has burned several times. I'm just really glad that I was able to get inside this old building and take pictures and document what was there while I still could. It stood for over 105 years. Well, that's pretty much all I have for this video. I have lots more content of the old hospital on the Spooky Legends of Susanville Facebook group page. There you can also find links to our Spreadshirt store where you can find Spooky Legends of Susanville t-shirts and apparel. Well, I'm Kenny, your captain. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give us a like, share, subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you next time.